Hi, welcome to Yoga with Arya. This is going to be a fairly simple flow, but it's going to get in deep into the hips and the thighs. So if you've been doing a lot of walking or hiking, this is for you. All right, we're going to start off in child's pose. So if you need to pad your knees, grab a blanket, or you can also use a pillow. Open your knees wide and take a moment and just kind of stretch a little bit side to side first. All right. Wake up the hips. Do a few simple circles. And start to find your breath. And draw the inhale all the way up. And that's your energy, right? That you're drawing in. Draw the exhale all the way out. Switch directions, right? If you're circling. And just a couple more circles, enjoying the breath, enjoying the movement of the body. And then when you're ready, take your gaze forward slightly, pull your hips back, stretch your arms out. Maybe you need another little wiggle in the hips, and then relax your forehead straight down. In child's pose, it's really important to imagine that you can breathe all the way into your very low back. So like down here, down into the tailbone. Not just up here. Not just even mid-low back, which is challenging for most of us. Not just the waist, but really all the way down. So one way of doing that is to imagine the breath is like a wave. And it's going to travel down every vertebrae of the spine. And as you inhale, there's that descending wave. And then as you exhale, there's an ascending wave, right? The energy floats back up. See if you can find this ascension and descension within the breath itself. And if that, doesn't resonate with you and you're just not connecting to it, that's fine, let it go. Just imagine breathing all the way into your spine. And then imagine exhaling all that breath out of the spine. All right. Come on up, back into a hands and knees pose. And bring your knees so that they're almost touching, close together. We're going to stretch the left leg back, keep the left arm down, and then reach the right arm up, and then pause. Notice I'm starting to twist in the upper body, right? Take a deep breath. Reach that right arm all the way back, and then slide it under. And then we're going to repeat it again. Inhale, reach that right arm all the way up and back, and exhale and slide it under. And then one more. Inhale, reach it all the way back. Exhale and slide it under. And then you can take your right shoulder, relax it down, relax the head, maybe come up on the left fingertips. And you can play with this left leg. You can bring it all the way out to the side. You can keep it back, or you can keep the knee down. I actually like the leg out to the side, and then I reach over towards it with my right arm. All right, come on back. Second side. Okay, so now I'm just going to stretch out my right leg while I do the twisting beginning. And inhale, reach my left arm up. And then exhale and slide it under. Inhale, reach up tall. Maybe even up and back. Exhale, pull it through. And then one more time. Inhale, reach up tall, tall, tall. Exhale, pull it through. And here I relax my head. And here's where I can play with that right leg. Right? I can bring the right knee in. I can stretch the right leg out to the side. I could keep the right leg back. Yeah, for me, I prefer the stretch out to the side. And then I reach this bottom arm, right? My left arm towards my right foot. And if you're kind of super open and relaxed, you can then pick up your right arm up and open the shoulder. Maybe bend the elbow and just explore. You might take a little half bind. All right, release. Come all the way back, hands and knees pose. Cat and cow, simple cat and cow, 3 rounds. Inhale, open the chest. Lift belly, lift pubic bone. Exhale, draw the navel up to the spine, curl the spine, and really broaden here between the shoulder blades. Really wrap them around. Don't squeeze them together. Repeat. Inhale, open. Exhale, and and curl. And then one more. Inhale, open. Exhale and curl. Okay, so we're going to take this into a simple flow. Walk your hands forward. Half plank. So notice my hips are leaning forward. I'm using my belly muscles. Gaze forward. Take a deep breath. Bend the elbows lower. Inhale. Kind of a simple twisty cobra. Just curl back and forth a few times. And then press back into child's pose. And then repeat. Inhale, curl through cat spine, roll into that half plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, twisty cobra. Exhale, pull back into child's pose. And one more time. Inhale, curl. Exhale, lower. Inhale, open. Hold it this time. Imagine your sternum, right? This bone moving through the arms, and the shoulders are gently being pulled back just a little. And then exhale. This time, you can come back into child's pose, or you can tuck your toes under and stretch it out, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back, shorten your down dog. You can feel this more in your hamstrings. Walk your hands back even more. Maybe you can walk your hands back all the way. Maybe you need to bend your knees a little. All right, modify, tiny micro bend. You can grab a hold of the outer ankles. Pull your spine down. And then relax everything like a rag doll and just roll on up to standing. So I'm actually working on a rug rather than a yoga mat, and it's really interesting. It really forces you to work harder. I highly recommend it. All right, inhale from the top, open the arms. Interlace the fingers, press the palms up to the sky. And then release, come all the way back down. Walk your hands back out, downward facing dog. From down dog, bring the feet together, so you're in a plank pose now. And lift your right foot, engage the core a little, draw the right knee to the forehead, curl in, and then gaze forward, step the right foot through, lower your left knee down. Inhale, reach your arms back, like you're almost pumping something back behind you, like pushing into, a wall, right? It's flexible. And then continue that circle all the way up, interlace the fingers, take a deep breath, stretch. Exhale, open and release. We're going to do that half plank vinyasa. So right knee back to left. Inhale, half plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to regular plank pose. Lift your left foot up. Draw the left knee to the forehead. Curl in. Step the left foot through. Lower the right knee down. Reach the arms back, like you're again pumping the hands back into a wall. Keep the belly engaged. And then circle all the way around and up. Interlace the fingers, stretch. Exhale, open and release. So one more of these half plank vinyasas. Another way to do it, I'm going to modify this time, is knees, chest, chin. So knees are bent, and instead of lowering straight down, I lift my navel. And I'm trying to bring my chest and then my chin, but not the belly, right? So I'm bending the elbows, chest. Notice the chin is floating, the belly's active, and then I just rest the chin. And then it's almost like an inchworm. I'm gonna slide the legs back, pull the chest through, and then exhale. Your choice, child's pose or downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, exhale all that breath out. Bend your knees and jump. You can also step. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale and fold. All right. Inhale, open up the arms. Exhale, come into a squat. Reach the arms forward. Step your left foot back and then lower your left knee down. Inhale, reach the arms straight up this time. Straight up. Spread the fingers like you're expanding like lines of energy all the way up into the ceiling. Exhale, open the arms around you, interlace the fingers, open up the chest, and then fold. You can go right onto the thigh. You can wiggle the right foot out a little and tuck your right shoulder to the inside. So this is progressively more challenging, right? Or you can take your right head down towards your right ankle But you gotta lift here. You gotta lift in the belly and here in the kidneys, like it's puffing up to the sky. All right, so I'm not collapsing and straining the neck. I'm lifting the arms. Take another deep breath, and then wherever in that transition you are, your choice. You can repeat one of the vinyasas we did. You can do a traditional one, which is plank, lower down, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. You're gonna bend your knees, come back to the front, into that squat, rise, open the arms and release. Okay, second side, inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale, squat, and take a deep breath here. And then step your right foot back, lower your right knee down. Reach the arms straight up, straight up. All right, beams of energy shooting through the fingertips, straight up into the sky. Exhale, open. Inhale, open up the heart. Exhale, and again, I can fold right over the thigh. Want to engage my inner and outer thighs as I do so, all right? So the knee stays steady. I can inch that left knee and foot out a little, start to fold shoulder to the inner left knee. Notice I go in, and then I push back into that knee. Or I can bring my head down, as long as I stay lifted here, all right? Lifted so you're not sitting in the joints, you're not collapsing. Arms reach overhead. If possible, take one more breath. And then release. We'll go back to that standard vinyasa or modify any of the other transitions. Lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the belly, gaze forward, jump. Chair to rise. Exhale, open the arms and release. Okay, little standing quad stretch. So you're gonna imagine that your right knee goes straight down, not forward, not back. Grab a hold of the right ankle, and then lift here. Lift the belly, lift that right frontal hip bone. Right, so I'm not tilting, I'm not dancing. The pelvis is neutral. Tailbone down, pubic bone rising. I've been doing a lot of hiking, so I can really feel this as a really nice release. I'm gonna engage my femur, right, that thigh bone, and I'm gonna imagine that it's lengthening downwards even more. That intensifies the stretch. And breathe. All right, and then release. Second side. So bend my left knee, grab a hold of my left ankle. Make sure that left kneecap is pointing straight down, not forward or back. All right, belly muscles lifting, pubic bone lifting, tailbone dropping. And then I'm going to engage that left femur while lifting the left frontal hip bone. And breathe. If you lose your balance like I did, have fun. Come back to center. All right, and release. All right, you're going to open up into a goddess pose. People call it that sometimes, or maybe a standing horse stand. So heels and toes out. All right, you can start off with feet parallel, spin out your toes, bend your knees. And then same thing, I'm keeping the pelvis upright. Even though I'm gonna lean forward, the pelvis is gonna come with me, but I'm trying not to just stick the butt out and get lazy. So I'm lifting up. Hands are not on the knee joint, they're just above, about 4 or 5 inches. I press inwards and then twist, right? Left shoulder to the inside, pushing that left inner thigh, almost like I'm tractioning the left thigh as well. And then I can gaze down or over across my right shoulder, and then switch. Twist, right shoulder to the inside, and gazing over my left arm, shoulder. Repeat, inhale, exhale, and twist. And inhale, exhale, and twist. Okay. And then inhale, come all the way back up. And spin your feet to parallel. Lift the frontal hip bones, right? Lift the pubic bone, drop your tailbone, reach your arms straight up. Take a deep breath, really grow tall. So I'm pushing my feet down. I'm not just sitting in the joints, I'm pushing down. I'm very active. The kneecaps should be lifting, upper kneecaps especially. Reach the arms up tall, push down through the feet, grow tall, tall, tall. And then hands on the hips for the first round, lift up, exhale, and fold halfway, pause. Lift the belly, keep the belly lifting like you're folding over a padded bar, right? There's an imaginary bar here, and it's lifting my belly muscles up. Hands are on my hips, head relaxes, and fold. A deep breath. Inhale, come on up. Okay, second round. Hands come behind me, interlace fingers. Same action, feet press, belly lifts. Here's that imaginary padded bar. And I fold. And now the arms come up and then over. But the belly stays lifting. That imaginary padded bar is still lifting the belly muscles up. Even as I fold deeper, the belly goes higher. All right, inhale, come on up. Release. Second round, we're going to start hands on the hips, then bring hands to ankles. Inhale, lift up tall. Exhale. Pause here, lift that belly, hands to ankles. Inhale, arms straight, legs straight, gaze forward, pull. Like I'm trying to pull my ankles up off the floor, maybe even look forward, and then bend the elbows, widen and fold. Keep that belly muscle lifting. All right. That's the last one we're going to do for now. Step or hop your feet back to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, step your left foot back into a crescent lunge and then soften, right? You're going to engage the glutes, soften your left knee, draw the frontal hip bones up. Reach the arms out wide and then twist towards your right knee. Try and keep the pelvis upright. So try not to lean forward, try not to bend back. Imagine the spine is super straight, even if it's not. You can also lower your right arm back towards your left thigh. From here, reach your left arm up for a nice stretch in the hip. Good. Okay, if you didn't do that and your arms are here, stay here. If you're here, stay here. It doesn't matter. Reach your right arm back out behind you, bend your left elbow, and then here you can stretch your left leg straight. Maybe the gaze goes up. Maybe that right arm goes back. You can play anywhere in this range of motion for this first twist. And then release, both hands down. Repad your left knee, lower your left knee down. I'm going to do the same twist, now at a different position in the pelvis and the thigh. Reach the arms up. Twist to the right, you just did this. Bend left elbow, and then open the right arm back. So this is easier for balance. A little more intense on the quads. Ready for some more intensity? Shift the body forward a little, okay? Without completely relaxing the belly. So belly stays lifted. Again, that slightly imaginary padded bar is always there. Bend your left knee. Woo! Maybe reach back with your right hand. So you can also use a strap or a t-shirt. You should really feel this. I'm telling you, I've been hiking twice a day, and oh my goodness, my quads are singing. All right, release. We're not done yet. Unwind, take a hamstring stretch, take a little break, flex through the right heel. Lift the belly. Remember that imaginary padded bar. Every time I fold. And then, see, I'm kind of sitting in that left hip. So I'm going to hug that left hip in. So my pelvis comes neutral. Maybe, if you want to add a little twist here, left hand to the outside of that right foot. And then I kind of stretch forward and over and across that thigh. We're going to make it super fancy. You can reach your right arm back. Up to you. And release. All right. One more thing here. I'm going to scoot the left knee back even more. Okay, so I'm going to tuck my toes under, scoot it back even more. So even deeper into that left thigh. And I can have hands on either side. I actually prefer both hands to the inside. But if this strains your knee joint, keep your right hand to the outside. And I'm just looking forward, even slightly down. I don't want to strain the neck. So this is not a gaze up. This is a slightly forward or down, but that belly is lifting. I want this quad to stretch, right? So I'm lifting this left frontal hip bone as well. Deep breath. Now if you want to intensify, walk the right foot out at least 3-4 inches. Bring your forearms down. And you can even turn the right foot open, like 20, 30 degrees. And if I do this, and my right foot's turned open, I'm not going to keep that imaginary bar, right, lifting the low belly, but I'm going to stretch the right ribs, almost like I'm stretching them out from the pelvis. So right and left ribs. You're going to feel it more on the right side. So it's almost like someone took their hand, right, on the right rib cage here, those bottom floating ribs, and they lifted them and stretch. And it's a nice release in the hip and the side body. All right, last option. I'm going to bring my left arm, which is forearm is down, let's just parallel with the edge of the mat, right? So not turning in. Bend that left knee one more time. Woo! And see if I can grab a hold of the foot. Now this is intense, especially been doing a lot of hiking. Oh my goodness. I'm leaning on that left arm. I can flex my left foot. Notice my right knee is much like it's way open. That's totally fine. And then I'm also leaning away. All right, so it's a deep, sweet stretch, like a little back bendy stretch. Take another deep breath. You can do a lion's breath here. We're going to inhale through the nose. Exhale, tongue out. All right. And release. All right. Make your way back to downward facing dog. You can certainly add a vinyasa, right? If you're feeling it, you can skip this, and you can also skip down dog. And go straight to child's pose. All right. Jump. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come back at the heart. Second side. Okay, so all of that. I'm going to step my right foot back. See? This rug thing, it's challenging. Bend my right knee, reach the arms up. And then spin open towards the left. And again, I'm trying not to lean forward or back, doing my best to keep my pelvis as upright as possible. And I'm stretching both arms. So right arm and left arm are reaching, 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 reaching. Okay. I can even bring my left hand down, right, towards my right thigh. Reach the right arm up for that nice sweet stretch here in the psoas. Kind of hip flexor area, deep breath. And then I'm going to come in towards the twist. So right elbow to left knee thigh. Left arm opens wide. I can stretch my right leg straight. Take another deep breath. All right, and release. Bring my right knee down. Similar thing here, all right? Pelvis tilts forward a little. Reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, in, open. Bend the right elbow. And twist. I'm still lifting the belly, lengthening my tailbone. We'll take another deep breath here. Engage, even if you lose your balance, like I just did. Engage the muscles, and then bend your right knee. Reach back for the foot, and get that quad stretch. So I have to use my left foot pretty strongly here. And almost like I'm lengthening my left knee forward for balance, while at the same time pushing my left heel down and isometrically, right, like I'm pretending to drag it back. Take one more breath. All right, release. Hamstring stretch. Flex to your left heel. Inhale. Here's that padded bar, right, imaginary bar. And exhale, stretch forward. Option, right hand to left foot. Maybe inhale again, lift up, and then twist and fold. Release, come on, forward. Lower lunge, tuck the right toes under, scoot the left knee back. Gaze forward, belly lifting. Again, I can bring my hand to the inside if I wish. It will go to the inside momentarily. You can take it there now if you want to. I'm visualizing my tailbone lengthening, slightly curling under, right? My sternum bone up here between the collarbones slightly stretching up and forward. So there's a stretch between the sternum and the tail, right? They're going in two separate directions. Make sure you breathe deep. All right, walk your left foot out a little. Forearms, option. You can come down on the floor or on a block, right? You can pad. You can lift the floor, so to speak, by using blocks or hooks. And then here's where I'm doing that thing with the rib cage, right? I'm matching the left ribs, especially the bottom floating ribs are being lifted up. I even use my left hand to help, right? It's like I'm stretching the rib cage out from the hips, out from the pelvis, stretching the rib cage forward, 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 even more, stretching forward. All right, from here, my right arm goes parallel to the edge of my mat. I can come on the outer edge or palm down. My left foot opens even more. And I bend my right knee and I reach back, woof, for that right foot. So you're seeing it from a different angle now, right? Instead of leaning in, I'm opening back and out. So it's a stretch, it's a twist, it's a back bend. You can bring the head into it if you want to. You can relax the neck. If I flex through that right heel, it's even more intense. And deep breath. And I'm also feeling this in my left inner thigh, my left outer hip. So if you're feeling it there as well, that's fine. All right, and release. All right, your choice. Straggler vinyasa, modified vinyasa, lower down, inhale, and exhale. Okay, bend your knees, jump, chair, rise, open. Okay, open back out to the side, straddle, hands on the hips. Move this blanket here. Inhale, stretch up tall. Exhale, lean forward. This time, bring both hands so the fingers are, lightly touching right in the center. And push if you can. If not, come on the fingertips. If you can't do that, you can use blocks, right? You can use blocks as high as you need to, but I want you to push down. As I push down, I'm lifting the belly muscles up, and then I'm pushing my feet down as well. My kneecaps lift, right? I'm checking. Okay, kneecaps are lifting. Once all of that is there and in place, then I twist. I'm gonna bring my left hand to the inside. If it hurts to bring the right arm straight up, bring it back towards your hip. Push down. I can also walk my left arm out quite a bit, so it's under my shoulder. And reach the right arm up. This will be easier to twist. Your left arm is down to the inside. I would walk it forward. Take a deep breath. And then release, second side. Right hand down. And twist. I'm stretching the spine forward, out from the hips. Twisting, twisting, twisting. And release. Right. Step or hop back to the front of your mat. One more round of standing poses. Inhale, reach the arms up. Bend your knees. Step your left foot back. And then you're going to open into warrior two. So I'm going to turn around so that I'm facing the camera. And as I open into warrior two, I'm going to reach the arms straight up. And the purpose of this is twofold, right? For one, it engages the belly. It also allows me to feel like I'm lifting the belly muscles and the frontal hip bones up, 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 up. Easier than here, right? Because I'm kind of focused more on my spine, my lats. But lifting up, 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 up. And then I'm seeing if I can go wider and longer in that back leg. Now open the arms wide. Reach right arm forward, left arm back. And then lean forward, right elbow, forearm on thigh. Left arm lifts up. Nice stretch for that left hip. Frontal hip bone lifts like it's chasing the sternum. Stretch. One of my teachers used to say, it's chasing the sternum, but the sternum's not interested. So the sternum keeps stretching. All right, inhale, come on up. Turn your feet back to parallel, forward fold, your choice. You can grab both ankles, hands on hips. The other one we did was interlace fingers, right? And then come all the way up, switch sides. Turn your left foot out, right foot back. And reach the arms straight up. And again, I'm finding that space where I'm lifting, right? Doing my best to lift the belly, lift the frontal hip bones while growing longer in my stance. Challenging my inner thighs. Open the arms wide. And then lean forward, forearm on thigh. Reach the right arm up and over. So what's happening now? The right frontal hip bone is chasing the sternum, but the sternum's not interested. And take a deep breath. All right, release. Come on back down. You can take a vinyasa if you want to, but I'm going to recommend that if you take a vinyasa, you make it gentle and soft and come back into a child's pose. See if you can feel a difference now from this child's pose in the first one. Feel how you can almost stretch both of these bottom ribs, right and left side, floating ribs out from the hips, tailbone goes straight back. The spine is getting a stretch. Option, bend the elbows. You can lift the head, certainly. Walk the elbows forward. And then bring the palms together. So instead of fingers interlaced, fingers are spread. Forehead comes down, and the hands can go in any range, right? Down towards the mat in front, or up towards the head, or behind towards the neck. Your body will tell you where you get the nicest and deepest stretch. And it's going to be more that upper thoracic center. All right, from here, dolphin pose. So you can keep here. I would just do a quick check. Hands to the elbows. Make sure your elbows are about shoulders distance. So, if I'm doing this and I can't touch my opposite hand, my elbows are wider than my shoulders, right? If they cross so deeply they go beyond, they're narrower. So it's just a nice little way of checking. And then, if you're newer to dolphin, you're going to interlace your fingers. This is going to be on the ground. Notice this pinky. You're going to have the whole weight on this pinky. So tuck that little guy or gal under, okay? So you have a flat surface here. Okay, if you're familiar with forearm, dolphin, forearm balance, you want to do it this way, do it this way. I'm going to demo this way today, okay? So, elbows down, do the little clasp, tuck in the bottom pinky, push down, do not sink, push down through the forearms, lengthen the arm bone, right? Humerus, from elbow to shoulder. Lengthen that bone, broaden across the shoulder blades. You could even draw the chin in like a little cat spine to broaden. But if you do the cat spine, then lengthen the sternum forward, so open up through the front of the chest, so you're not rounded. As you go into dolphin, tuck your toes under and lift your legs up, and then walk your feet in, right? Push down with the forearms, melt the heart back towards the thighs. Lengthen the sides of the body. From the armpit, if I had a third arm like a demo, right? But from the armpit to the hip, imagine it stretching, growing longer. Belly muscles are lifting. Okay, we're going to take like a drink of water, right? There's a bowl of water just beyond my hands, and lean forward, take a drink, and come back. 2 more of these. Inhale. And exhale. And 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. All right. Relax back. Come on up for pigeon pose. Step your right foot forward. So we're going to do pigeon prep. Walk your right foot to the center, okay? So one hand has to go on either side of that right foot. Flex through the right heel, so it's like I'm karate chopping the pinky edge. I have to flex and spread the toes. Let that right knee open. My hands are going to go a little wider, okay? That's just it's easier for me to maintain balance. And if it's easier for you to go narrower, go for it. So I'm pushing down with the outer edge of the foot. Don't get lazy here. There's a muscle here, I think it's called the peroneus longus, but essentially your outer shin muscle. If that's engaged, it keeps your kneecap really safe. An easy way to engage that is to press through the pinky edge of the foot, spread the toes. You want to make it more challenging, you lift your back knee up off the ground. And then if you want to make it even more challenging, see how I lift my hips up? Then I bring my forearms down and whoo-hoo, yes, I'm going to feel this pigeon prep. And then I'm stretching the right rib cage out from the right hip. All right, one more breath. Lower the back knee down. Come on up if you did that. Shift the right foot across. Upright pigeon. And then stretch forward into supine, relaxed. Most people feel this in the hamstring, hip, and glute on the right side. Okay. You probably will feel something in your left upper hip flexor, upper quad, inner groin, right? Psoas area if you're tight there as well. All right, you want to come up for the back foot stretch. Lift up. Draw your back knee in a little, okay? Bend your back knee, reach back. You can point the toe. And bring the foot towards the outer left hip. So many versions of this, right? You can slide out, a little hook, mermaid pose. Other version, and I can't do it right now, but it would be to grab a hold of the outer foot, and bend the elbow. I would need a strap and do this, right? And reach back. There's an imaginary strap. All right, alrighty, second side. So you might want to stretch this right leg out. I recommend from a hands and knees pose, stretching the right leg out. And then instead of thinking of rotating from the knee, rotate from the hip, roll to the outer edge, and roll to the inner edge. From the hip, right? From the thigh, up here. And not just knee, ankle. As if my knee and ankle almost don't move at all. And it's from the inner thigh, outer thigh, slowly rolling. Okay, second side. Pigeon prep, second side. Bring your left foot centered. All right, come to the outer edge. Remember that karate chop. I'm going to push down through the pinky edge so I engage that outer shin. Maybe I scoop my right knee back. I'm feeling it here. If I want to add the back leg, I have to lift my hips up while still pushing through here, or your knee is not going to be happy. Maybe forearms come down. And then maybe I stretch my left ribs out, out, out from my hip. I stretch forward, forward, forward. Take another deep breath and lower that back knee down. Scoot your left foot across. Come into upright pigeon for a few breaths. And then come on down and fold. I want to take the variation. I walk my arms up. I scoot my right knee in a little, so it's like I'm lifting the belly. Reach back with the right hand. Right, point, flex, whatever you can do. Maybe if you point, you can start to bring the heel in. Right, you can hook. I'm not going to attempt mermaid on this side because my left knee is very different from my right. I don't want to strain it. All right, the other option if I had a strap would be to, well, if you're super flexible, you don't need the strap. You grab a hold of the outer edge and the elbow comes up and around. All right, otherwise I have a strap and I do this motion. I reach back and release. All right, we're gonna stretch the left leg out. It's normal after pigeon to feel like your foot almost doesn't want to move and your leg doesn't want to move. So remember, from the hip, I roll internal and externally. Not from the knee, not from the ankle. Those should almost feel like they are locked. I don't like that word, locked, but you don't want to engage them. All right, you guys, almost done. On your back, bridge pose. Bend your knees, way back, all the way back. You can hug your knees in for a moment. You can open the knees wide. And then feet down. I like to reach over with my middle fingers. So since I'm on this rug, it's not stinky at all, I'm gonna scoot forward a little bit. A little more traction. Okay, so reach down with the middle fingers. Maybe lift the pelvis, lengthen the tailbone forward. I don't wanna dump into my low back. All right, I almost wanna do the opposite. I almost wanna flatten it. And then I'm gonna bend my elbows. And I'm going to use this, I'm going to make fists, I'm going to engage the biceps, right? Almost like I'm doing a bicep curl, do a bicep curl. But then turn the fists to face each other. And I'm going to push down, lift up my spine, almost like I'm stretching it out so my shoulders go flat, right? Otherwise there's a tendency for the shoulders to be curled up. Shoulders go flat, okay? So punching, right? Back, lift the spine up, shoulders are flat. Another way to do this is to bring your hands back and tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. And then keep this fist, like almost like robot arms, and lift up and keep pushing through the back of the arms. Now notice some people feel the chin kind of collapse into the chest. I want you to gently press the back of the head down like the brain is getting heavier and feel the neck grow longer. So your sternum, all right, this bone is going to come towards your chin, but you're not letting your chin come into the sternum here. And then I can keep drawing my shoulders underneath me. Yeah, my sternum gets close to my chin, but there's still space there. Okay, from here, if I want to release my hands down, I can interlace the fingers. I actually prefer this position. It's much more engaged. Frontal hip bones are stretching up. All right, my tailbone is kind of lengthening like it's moving between my knees. My pubic bone is slightly lifting towards the belly. Feet are pushing down. You can lift and spread the toes. You want to get another quad stretch. Walk your left foot in. Stay in bridge pose, but tuck your right foot under. And then maybe lengthen that right knee. Nice and deep, all the way down. All right, switch sides. Sides can be very different because of my left knee. I'm going to tuck my left toes under, and I think I'm just going to stay there and breathe. Deep breath. There it goes. Releases a little bit. All right. From here, if you want to come into Urdhva Dhanurasana, bring your hands back, lift up, stretch, and release. Happy baby, or Supta Baddha Konasana, soles the feet together, knees out loud. Or lift, flex your heels, grab a hold of inner or outer. Happy baby. Breathe into your tailbone. Let the tailbone lengthen. You might even rock a little side to side, right? Especially if you did that back bend, that Urdhva Dhanurasana, that wheel. Like you're unwinding the tailbone. Then hold your happy baby. If you're not feeling anything here, it's okay. You know, maybe your hips just feel good. Some people feel this in their inner thighs, outer hips, glutes. You could also stretch the legs out. I would then slide my hands to the inner ankle edge, flex and point. Turn the ankles around. Open wide, wide, wide. Probably point the toes down to the ground. And I'm using my hands and pushing down and gently tractioning out. And then we're going to bring the legs together. We're going to do a stretch on the back. So lower the right foot, bring the left foot towards you like you're doing splits. And then switch. Bring the right leg up, bring the left foot down. Bring the left leg back up to meet the right. Reach the arms up, ankles, circles, wrist circles. You can take a soft plow. All right, you can kind of just roll in and out. Use your belly muscles. If your feet touch the ground, bend your elbows. Same thing you did in bridge pose, right? I'm lengthening through the back of the neck. So my sternum gets really close to my chin, but it never feels collapsed in there. My hands are kind of lengthening along the kidney area, the low back. If you wanted to come into a shoulder stand, you could do one leg at a time. Just take it up for a brief few seconds. If you're in shoulder stand, please keep the head neutral. Don't move your head at all. Go ahead and lower back down. Slowly bend your knees, soften. If you took a shoulder stand, we're going to take a fish pose. So bring the legs down. Come up onto the forearms, right? Bend the elbows. And then walk the arms forward a little bit. So at the top of the skull, it just rests. I'm actually using my belly muscles a lot. Don't dump into your neck here. And then relax back. Final twist, right knee in. Twist, open the left arm. Switch, left knee in. Twist. And then come back in the center. Shavasana. Rock back and forth a few times. Don't mind the dog barking. It's part of life, right? We get distracted. That's good. That's practice. And stay relaxed, but start to notice your breath. And you can visualize the breath as pure energy, pure consciousness, pure love. And that it's touching, it's connecting to every muscle, right? Every cell, every joint, every organ, every bone. Let that bring you into a little stretch. Arms and legs. Roll over to one side, bend your knees. And slowly relax the head. Use the arms, come back into a seat. So I get to enjoy this beautiful space for the next couple days, and I'm happy to be able to share yoga with you in this space. hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And I do recommend that you get outside, enjoy nature, drink some water, and bring your palms together. Let's seal it all in. Take a gentle breath. Namaste. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching.